While going, my brakes fail and I bump into a car. The driver gets out and asks me if I know how to drive. I only respond, bank card number. But he said the car is a Rolls-Royce and very expensive. I ask him again to give me his bank card number. Right there, a man walks out of the car and asks what is going on. The driver angrily gives me the account number and said a three-wheeler driver can't pay. Right there he receives a transfer of 200,000 yuan. To his disbelief he asks how that is possible. I then said he can keep the balance as compensation for his mental distress. I want to leave but the man stops me and said my name. I ask whether he knows me. He said my age, the school I studied at, where I studied, and the area I specialize in, and said he never thought the city's richest man's daughter would be doing side jobs here. Right there we realized the woman, me, is from a rich family and am only pretending to be poor, and said he is my fiancé, Christian Sinclair. I then said, so he is Christian Sinclair, the richest man in the country. His secretary said the information I have is over 3 years old, and said now Christian Sinclair is the richest man in the world. I said that is none of my business. His secretary says if I marry his boss I will be Mrs. Sinclair. Christian Sinclair said since we run into each other, we should go and register our marriage. Right there I stop him and said let me be direct with you. And said a marriage without love is like scattered sand. And said our engagement was just a family alliance, arranged by the elders. And there is no emotional foundation between us and said right now I have someone I like. His secretary thinks to himself that the most eligible bachelor, Christian Sinclair, is being rejected. I said he is rich and handsome. Maybe he has some hidden defect. His secretary said I should mind my words. He asks whether the person I like is better than him. But I said, he treats me well. And today 2 of his partners are signing with the Sinclair conglomerate. And the license fees alone will be tens of millions. And he keeps getting better. I said it is about time, and rush off with my tricycle. His secretary asks whether they should cancel the signing ceremony. It turns out Christian Sinclair is the one who is going to sign with my boyfriend. He tells his secretary not to cancel the signing ceremony. He wants to see what the person I like really looks like. When I arrived, I first looked at myself in the mirror, picked up the flowers, and rushed to the ceremony. I went to my boyfriend, Tristan Brooke, and gave him the flowers, but he stepped back. I asked whether he did not like the color of the flowers, but he said, what am doing there? I said I was there to congratulate him. And that didn't he said once he succeeded, he would propose to me. His mother hit the flowers from my hand and said I must be dreaming. She said her son was about to rise to greatness with a bright future ahead, and said I am struggling in the mud, so I should ask myself what made me think I am worthy of his son. My boyfriend said, since that's the case, let's just lay it all out. He said he is breaking up with me, that we were not in the same world, and that marriage required people to be well matched. I moved toward him, but he stepped back. I asked whether he is joking with me, that we had come a long way together. His mother pushed me, and said I am not good enough for his son, that all I did every day is to pedal a tricycle. I said whether he knew a partnership like this is easily attainable for me, and that even this signing ceremony is only possible because of my recommendation. His mother slapped me, and said whether I had lost my mind. My boyfriend said I should keep my mouth shut, so that I would not make his mother angry, and that I should know when to boast. I said all these years I had been good to their family, understood all their struggles, and spent so much time and money on them. My boyfriend said he would repay me 2 million for everything I had spent on his family. In tears, I said he is really generous. He said, of course. And that I should go back to the countryside with the money, and live my life with an ordinary man. His mother said they should get me out of there, because Ms. Chloe is coming soon. I asked who that is. His mother said Ms. Chloe is from the Sinclair conglomerate, the daughter of the vice president of the Sinclair conglomerate, and that she came from a prestigious family. She said compared to her, I am just an ant. My boyfriend said I should leave quickly before I upset Ms. Chloe. I asked whether he thought Ms. Chloe is better than me. He said yes, that in terms of birth, class, character, and education, I could not compare to her in any way. He said he chose Ms. Chloe over me. I asked what Ms. Chloe could give him that I couldn't, and said, what if I could give him 10 times, or even 100 times more than Ms. Chloe could? Right there, Ms. Chloe walked in, and said whether I thought I had more connections than she did. She gave the flowers to my now ex-boyfriend, turned to me, and said I am nothing but low-class trash. I responded that she is a homewrecker, and she is actually proud of it. I said between the two of us, she looked more like low-class trash. She said her father is the vice president of the Sinclair conglomerate, second only to the CEO, and asked how I dared talk back to her. She said she would make sure I did not leave this venue. The manager asked what is going on. Ms. Chloe said I am clinging to Tristan Brooke, my now ex-boyfriend, and that she wanted me to be taught a lesson. The crowd went against me and said I am not worthy of Tristan Brooke. The manager said trash like me from the bottom always tried to climb the social ladder, and that I even dared cause trouble there. My ex-boyfriend said I am just an empty shell, and that we should end our relationship peacefully. I said, what about his research, the household expenses, the tuition, and the research funding? Which one of those was not provided by me? I said now that he is finally seeing success. He chose Ms. Chloe and suddenly said I am no longer good enough for him. My ex-boyfriend said I should stop making wild accusations and stop insulting him. Ms. Chloe said he should not waste his time on someone as shameless as me, and that I should simply be kicked out. The crowd supported her again and asked me to leave. Ms. Chloe took out a card containing 1 million and threw it at me, saying if I knew what is good for me, I should take it and leave. My ex-boyfriend picked up the card, put it into my pocket, and said I could never earn that kind of money in my lifetime. But I said I am not leaving. I threw the card to the ground, walked onto the stage, and said, let me see whether the Sinclair conglomerate could really do anything to me, and that even if Christian Sinclair himself is standing there, he would not dare throw me out. Right there, a voice said, I am his wife, and a man walked in and went to the stage. The manager recognized him. He said to me, it seems like my beloved did not love me. I said, sorry for making a fool of myself. My ex-boyfriend's mother said, how dare I cheat on her son while in a relationship, and I dare act all devoted. She said to her son that everything I did today is just an act. Ms. Chloe asked who the man is. He made it bold and clear that he is my husband. Right there we realized he is Christian Sinclair, the CEO of the Sinclair conglomerate. The same man my ex-boyfriend and everyone there are afraid of, but they have never met him or seen his face, so they do not recognize him. My ex-boyfriend said, how dare I cheat on him? But the man said, he should thank him for not cherishing me, because if he had, he would never have the chance to be with me. His mother said, what is there to cherish about a person like me with no education? The man said, don't I graduate from Grand Central University? Is that not good enough for them? Ms. Chloe laughed and said Grand Central University is one of the top universities in the world. She said she could not even get admitted there. So how could I? She then said I must have hired the man beside me as an actor. The manager tried to warn her, but she shut him up. She said she remembered I do not have money. So the man beside me must be a gigolo from some club. The manager, afraid, tried to stop her again, but she shut him up once more. She said the man looks decent enough, so she would not let him come all this way for nothing. She took money from her bag and threw it at him. The manager rushed over, picked up the money, returned it to her, and said she should not do that. When he tried to reveal the man's identity, she interrupted him again. She said the man should slap me, and for every slap, she would give him more money. She said today is his chance to become rich. The man walked down from the stage, went straight to Ms. Chloe, gave her 2 hard slaps, then calmly walked back to the stage. He said, I never hit women, but Ms. Chloe is not human. My ex-boyfriend said, I dare hire someone to hit Ms. Chloe, and said I am a dead woman now. The man said, he is the one who did everything, so if anyone has a problem, they should take it out on him. Ms. Chloe said the man is a bastard. How dare he hit her? She said her father is the vice president of the Sinclair conglomerate, and everyone has to show respect to him. The man asked me to sit down. The manager immediately said, since the man has spoken, any seat is perfect for me. Ms. Chloe shouted that I should get down from that seat. She said only Christian Sinclair is worthy of sitting there, and if he is not there, then her father is. The man smiled and said even if her father comes, he will still bow to him. She took out her phone. The manager quickly said her father is in a meeting, but she ignored him and said she is calling her mother instead, because her mother used to be the general manager of the Riverdale branch of the Sinclair conglomerate. The manager begged her not to call, but she ignored him, called her mother, and complained about everything. The man quietly picked up a mask, put it on, and said, only then can they watch the most exciting show. He slowly turned my chair around. Everyone laughed and said they already recognize his face, so wearing a mask changes nothing. A few moments later, Ms. Chloe's mother walked in and asked what happened. Her daughter pointed at her swollen face and said we hit her. The woman became furious and asked who dares hit her daughter. Before the manager could explain, she slapped him. My ex-boyfriend tried to explain as well, but she slapped him too, and said he has no right to speak. Ms. Chloe said I am still acting tough, and now that her mother is here, she asked whether I am afraid to turn around. The man calmly replied, "Who should be afraid is yet to be decided." Her mother said, "We are the ones who should be doomed, and that the gates of hell are already open for the two of us." The man said, "Maybe they are the ones who are doomed." Her mother said, "This is the first time someone has ever said those words to her, and that today she will break both our legs, and she dares to see who will stop her." She asked the man to turn the chair around. The man said he will grant their wish. I said he should keep his identity hidden. If not, the show will not be interesting. As he turned the chair around, I said to the woman, "It has been a while since I last saw her." She looked afraid and walked toward her daughter. Her daughter said, "And that I should get down from there." Her mother stopped her. She said her mother should deal with us, but instead her mother slapped her. She asked whether her daughter knows the kind of trouble she has caused. Angry, Ms. Chloe said the people she should slap are us, not her. She asked what status I have. Her mother said, "I am the daughter of the Kingsley family, the richest family in the city, and also the fiancée of Christian Sinclair, the CEO of the Sinclair conglomerate." She then asked her daughter to kneel down and apologize. My ex-boyfriend and his mother looked afraid and started murmuring that I am actually from such a powerful family, and they have no idea about it. Ms. Chloe blamed the manager for not telling her earlier. The manager replied that she never allowed him to speak. Disappointed, Ms. Chloe laughed bitterly. My ex-boyfriend said I keep saying I want to marry him. So why do I hide my identity? I said, when I woke up in the hospital after the accident. He told me my tricycle is downstairs and is not damaged. I believed he is the one who saved me. So I pretend to be poor and become a tricycle rider, only so I can stay close to him. I also said I pay all his research funding. But in the end, if I do not hide my identity, how can I ever see his true face? He stood there speechless, not knowing what to say. His mother begged me not to do this. Right then, Ms. Chloe's father, the vice president of the Sinclair conglomerate, walked in. His wife quickly said he should not offend me, because I am the fiancée of Mr. Sinclair. Since the man wearing a mask, he does not recognize, he said an hour ago, Mr. Sinclair announced that he has stopped searching for his fiancée, me. He said Mr. Sinclair has probably already ended the engagement with my family. He then asked who the man standing beside me is. His daughter replied that he is my lover. Her father became furious and asked how I dare bring another man before Mr. Sinclair officially announces the cancellation of the engagement. He said if I do not give him an explanation today, I will not get away with it. I asked what he is planning to do to me. He replied, "Today, either he gets rid of the man standing beside me, or my entire family should prepare to disappear from Riverdale City." Right then, the leaders of the four great families stepped forward and openly supported him. Suddenly, the man knelt before me and asked me to marry him. I smiled and accepted his proposal. My ex-boyfriend's mother became furious and shouted that my family should be wiped out. A guard rushed in and said Mr. Sinclair's motorcade has arrived. They all hurried outside to welcome him. His secretary received a call. Everyone gathered around him, asking where Mr. Sinclair is. The manager and all the employees respectfully greeted him. As the man took off his mask, he quietly told the manager not to reveal his identity. He then instructed him to tell everyone that tomorrow, at the Imperial Hotel, Mr. Sinclair will host an ascension gala, and all four great families of Riverdale City are invited to attend. After giving the instructions, we left together. His secretary turned to everyone and said Mr. Sinclair instructed them to follow the manager's arrangements from now on. Everyone stood there in surprise. When they returned inside, they realized both of us are already gone. They immediately asked the manager what Mr. Sinclair said. The manager repeated everything Mr. Sinclair instructed. Hearing that, they all became excited. They believed that during the gala, Mr. Sinclair will completely erase my family from Riverdale City, while at the same time signing the contract with my ex-boyfriend. Back at my home, my grandmother said she is disowning me from the Kingsley family, with the support of my uncle and aunt. My father said he disagrees. But my uncle said I run away from the family and refused to marry Mr. Sinclair. He also said the Sinclair conglomerate already has the news, and it is only a matter of time before Mr. Sinclair cancels the engagement. He said the Kingsley family cannot withstand the wrath of the Sinclair conglomerate. My mother said she will never disown me. Right there my grandmother slapped her. My uncle handed the share transfer agreement to his wife, who asked us to sign it. My father said he single-handedly builds the company from a small business into one with thousands of employees. He refused to sign. Right then, I walked in, and unit with my parents. I said to my grandmother, uncle, and aunt that all their living expenses come from my father. Yet now they want us to hand over all the company shares to them. I also said the Sinclair conglomerate is not coming to punish us. Instead, they are coming to deliver the betrothal gifts. My father and mother happily believed me. But my grandmother laughed and said I am lying. She forced my father to choose. Either send me away from the Kingsley family, or leave the Kingsley family himself. My father refused to choose either. Furious, my grandmother ordered the guards to seize us. Right then, uniformed officers arrived carrying countless betrothal gifts. Still doubtful, my uncle walked outside and secretly made a phone call. After the call, he confidently returned and said the person proposing to me is the gigolo from the party. As the officers continued presenting the gifts, my uncle mocked us and repeated that the gigolo is the one proposing. I turned to my parents and said the one proposing to me is Christian Sinclair. I asked them to believe me. My uncle, grandmother, and aunt burst into laughter. The leader of the gift procession stepped forward and said he is from the Sinclair conglomerate. Even then, they still refused to believe him. Among the gifts, he personally handed one special gift to me. The moment I saw it, my memories returned. I finally remembered that the person who saves me during the accident is actually Christian Sinclair, not my ex-boyfriend. I also remembered that Christian Sinclair is the little boy I once saved when we were children. Just then they once again forced us to sign the transfer agreement, to sever all ties. As my grandmother tried to slap my mother again, I stopped her, and slapped her first. I immediately severed all ties with them. I said everything the Kingsley family owns today is built by my father. They do not deserve any of it. I then ordered the guards to throw them out. Just as they were driven away, Christian Sinclair arrived. He respectfully greeted my parents, his future in-laws. Then he personally invited them to attend the Ascension gala. As the day of the Ascension gala arrives, Christian Sinclair's parents arrive first. My grandmother, uncle, and aunt walk up to them and said they already cut all ties with my family and that they have nothing to do with us anymore. After understanding the situation, they said, since that is the case, then they are not invited inside, and asked them to leave. As they leave, they begin to wonder whether they hear the wrong rumors. Right then, I arrive wearing a white dress. My ex-boyfriend, his mother, and Miss Chloe try to stop me from entering. But the Sinclair butler stops them and allows me to walk inside. Inside the banquet hall, the four great families begin to gang up against me. I tell them to stay away from me. My ex-boyfriend also steps forward and begins mocking me. I replied, a simp will always be a simp. Miss Chloe also walks over and said today's gala is specially prepared for her boyfriend, and that today my family is going to be completely erased from Riverdale City. The attendees begin supporting them, one after another. The four great families stand against me. I asked the butler to remember every single one of them. Then I said, it is time for payback. I said, since the Hayes family starts it, I am going to start with them by making their family go bankrupt. The head of the Hayes family laughed and said he would like to see how I make his family go bankrupt. I take out my phone, call Mr. Sinclair, and ask him to bankrupt the Hayes family. He is still proudly boasting that the Hayes family can never go bankrupt. Right then he receives a phone call. His face instantly turns pale. He learns that the Hayes family is already on the verge of bankruptcy. Everyone stands there in complete shock. The heads of the other great families immediately beg Miss Chloe's father, the vice president of the Sinclair conglomerate, to help them. Just then, the butler announces that it is time. I quietly leave the banquet hall. As the host stands on the stage giving his speech, my ex-boyfriend smiles confidently, believing it is finally time for his contract signing. To everyone's surprise, the host announces that today's event is not a contract signing ceremony. Instead, today is the official announcement of Mr. Sinclair's engagement. The entire hall falls silent. The host respectfully invites Mr. Christian Sinclair onto the stage. Everyone becomes even more shocked the moment they finally see his face. Then Christian Sinclair smiles and invites me onto the stage as his fiancée. The entire audience freezes in disbelief. Miss Chloe immediately turns to her father and tells him to remove that man from the stage. Instead, her father gives her a hard slap. He confirms in front of everyone that the man standing on the stage is indeed Christian Sinclair, the CEO of the Sinclair conglomerate. Still unwilling to accept reality, Ms. Chloe's father steps forward and said before today, I am in an ambiguous relationship with another man. Christian Sinclair calmly takes out the mask, puts it on and said his eyesight is failing him, and he is no longer fit to continue serving the Sinclair conglomerate. He immediately orders the guards to escort him out. The guards obey without hesitation. Ms. Chloe follows behind him in tears. My ex-boyfriend and his mother try to blame everything on me. I simply asked the guards to throw them out as well. Outside, his mother started blaming Ms. Chloe. She slaps her repeatedly and said everything is her fault for deceiving them. My ex-boyfriend also breaks up with her, and they walks away. Outside the venue, my uncle quietly peeks at the venue thinking that my family must already be finished by now. Moments later, my parents walk out safely. They are shocked to see that nothing happens to them. Then, Christian Sinclair and I walk out together. His parents proudly announce that we are officially engaged. They also reveal that the previous information everyone receives is completely false. Embarrassed, my grandmother, uncle, and aunt try to get close to us again. I calmly remind them. Didn't they already said, we are no longer family? Ashamed, they lower their heads, turn around, and leave. Moral lesson of the story. Never judge a person because they ride a tricycle or because they wear a mask.